Hi, Diana Alexander here with another San Bernardino County COVID-19 news update. I'm really excited to bring you the first in a series of videos that are related to what the African American community has been experiencing in the midst of this COVID-19 crisis. I'm happy to have here with me today Mr. Kyle Webb, and I'm going to have him introduce himself to you and explain to you what he does in the community. Mr. Webb?
Thank you so much for having me, Diana. And again, my name is Kyle Webb. I am the Chief Financial Officer of Webb Family Enterprises, and we own McDonald's franchises in and around here, but also I'm the Chief Executive Officer of CEEM, the Cooperative Economic Empowerment Movement. And through CEEM, we exist to increase access and opportunities for African Americans. Yes. We focus primarily on entrepreneurship, and the reason is because this is a democratic country, but every day we're a capitalist country. And African Americans traditionally own less capital. If you own less capital, then it makes it difficult for you to do things like employ people because you don't own the businesses. It makes it difficult for you to get into good school districts because you don't own your house. And so for us, it's about improving those metrics such that a lot of the other metrics like health outcomes may improve.
Very, very interesting. I love it. So can you tell us a little bit more about what CEEM offers to the African American community that's going to help them, especially during these times?
Yeah, and in these times, it's so difficult for so many of us to get past the virus. First and foremost, people, Black folks especially, have got to get past the virus. Nationally, we are dying at a much higher clip than the percentage of the population that we make up. We don't want that to be our case in San Bernardino. It's just unacceptable for us to be that. So we've started with some webinars that you can access the recordings from on our website, CEEM.coop, that's CEEM.coop, that talk about the response that you have if you have any kind of symptoms. We've had one of our board members who's one of the foremost ER doctors in the country, and he's retired now, but he gave a wealth of information on what to do to prevent yourself from getting the virus, what to do if you come up with symptoms, how do you access care if you go to the hospital. And so we've talked about that. How do you prevent or how do you respond to the virus? But we also know that there is going to be a tremendous upheaval in our economy coming out of this. And we can't stand to accept that moving forward. So we are transitioning our webinar content to talk towards our response. Also, we thank you for being here so we can talk about the economic response to these issues that are really impacting our community. One thing we know is that Black folks, if we don't trust the messenger, we're often not going to receive the message. It's not just true for Black folks, that's just true for people. And so we in CEEM, we look to be a trusted messenger in the community so that we can talk to the folks that own the businesses in our community and tell them how to access the resources. We've already seen that Black folks have had a struggle accessing the financial benefits that were provided to businesses through the CARES Act. The Small Business Association, the SBA, put out this PPP program, the Paycheck Protection Program, and Black folks were struggling getting approved, right? We see that, I heard a stat in the Inland Empire, we normally make up somewhere around 18% of the population that goes in to talk to the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center. Right now, we are somewhere less than 9%. So half of the population that's normally going to the SBDC is Black, which means we're also not accessing the EIDL loans, the economic injury disaster loans. And so for us, we want to be a safe space where people can go and we can help you have those conversations with the SBA, with the SBDC. We can help you in your conversations with a bank, and we can help you get your stuff in order so that you can be ready for those applications. After that, we're also developing our plan now for response and how, if allocated resources, we can really impact employment in our community on the other side of this. At this point, over 30 million people have applied for unemployment. In almost every community where there are unemployment statistics, what we find is that African American men are unemployed at 2 times that of the community. So if you're looking at a community with 25 or plus % unemployment, we're going to be looking at a black male unemployment rate at over 50%. That's not acceptable.
Right.
And we have to do something about it. And we get to do something about it as a community. We get to do something about it together. And for me, that makes me excited. I'm excited to really help folks who may not have had the opportunities that I've had growing up, so that more of us can access that for their children and their next generations.
Wow, your excitement is contagious because I feel it myself. I'm so excited because you've given so many practical tips on what people can do. So as we start to close, why don't you just tell them, what kind of call to action do you have? What are you asking the audience to do in order to make a difference in their own lives and with their own businesses?
Yeah, so the first thing, I ask people to understand what's out there. And if you need a partner, CEEM can be your partner to help you understand what's out there. Come check us out on our website, CEEM.coop. That's CEEM.coop. Again, that is C, E as in Edward, E as in Edward, M as in Mary, .coop.
That's great.
The,
Go ahead, please.
that's all I got.
Well, we are so happy to have had you here. Obviously, that is not all you've got. There's so much more, but we can do more in the future.
Absolutely.
But man, what you have shared is so encouraging, and I'm sure it is for our audience also. Thank you so much, Mr. Kyle Webb, for joining us here today for this first in a series of videos. We just want to say thank you to our audience, too, for joining us. This has been another San Bernardino County COVID-19 news update. Until next time, please stay safe and take care.